Hi everyone, hi Martians, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, my name is Mareeyah, aka Mars. If you're not new, you already knew that, and thank you for coming back onto this journey. But yeah, so before I start, just a brief intro of me. I am a creative strategist, a graphic designer. I help brands and creatives elevate their journey through design. So yeah, that's whether you're starting a business or you're starting your creative journey, I help you through that, through creative strategies, through design, through everything, through creativity, through art. Okay, so now we're going to start. So I don't have a long intro because I know that this is going to make this long. Basically, you are not going to go anywhere, yeah, if you have too much pride and if you do not know anything, if you don't have knowledge. And why do I say this? It's not to throw shade at anyone that is maybe thinking, oh, like you didn't even hold my hand when you started this video today. But anyways, the reason why I say that is because we're going to look at two brands where one either used because of pride and fear to keep them behind, and two, the other brand that wasn't afraid and got them where they are today. And obviously, if you read the title, you already know what brands I'm talking about. If you've seen the thumbnail, you already know the brands I'm talking about. But these are going to be about Netflix. This video is going to be about Netflix and Blockbuster. And I'm going to use their experience, what they did, to basically help us on our own creative journey and on our own brand journey, entrepreneurship, whatever we do, basically. Even if you do a 9 to 5, this is for everyone. You don't have to be a freelancer or anything. But yeah, so like I was saying, pride and fear, and as well as having no knowledge, will keep you where you are. It will keep you stuck. It will not allow you to move forward. So now, if you obviously if you know anything about me, aside from being a creative strategist, I am a Christian, I'm a child of God, and I generally believe in how, you know, fear is not supposed to be a part of anyone's life. Not even whether you're a Christian or not, you're not supposed to be afraid, because God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. He has not made us afraid, so we shouldn't be afraid. However, in this story of, you know, Blockbusters and Netflix, at the time where, you know, the internet had just come out, if you're as old as me, I'm not going to put my age here, you probably already know my age, but if you're as old as me, you probably remember Blockbusters and how they, you know, that shop. So if you don't know this, if you probably weren't in the UK, because I think Blockbusters did have a store in America, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know they had so many shops in the UK. If you did not know, like if you were not in the UK at the time, or you were not born at that time, then you probably would not know what I mean by Blockbusters, what I'm even talking about, what that is, you know. But anyways, this is Blockbusters. If you're ever wondering what it looks like, this is how a Blockbuster looked like. And essentially the shop was that you would go into the shop to basically buy, like, you know, like not buy, you can buy but also rent. And I think a lot of people did rent because it makes more sense, but you can rent like games, films. I think you can rent games, like from what I remember when I was younger. But yeah, you can rent like movies and basically take them home. It lasts for a few days. Like you then bring it back and things like that. You buy popcorn because they sell popcorn in there, it was such a great idea because obviously we had cassettes at the time. And so you just basically buy or rent your movie of the evening or of the week or whatever. You can rent as many and then you take them home, watch it, and then come back. Do you know the funniest thing is that I don't even really remember how they kept tabs on people renting it. I don't even know what it was, but that is something I would love to discuss with my parents about how they did that. But yeah, anyway, so when they started doing that, a lot of people were in love with Blockbusters. I think that's the only place. I mean, they had other stores which still exist to this day, like HMV, where you can get your games and stuff like that. You can tell I'm a gamer. I love my games and stuff. But yeah, you have all of those. And but yet people still seem to go to like Blockbusters and get all their things from Blockbusters. Now, Blockbusters was approached by Netflix. So Netflix approached Blockbusters and they were like, oh, like, yeah, basically we want to do business with you, we want to work with you. And Blockbusters was like, no. Not even, I don't even think they meant it in a bad way, but you see, internet had just started coming up at the time, so you can imagine that for Blockbusters, there was the internet, and that's how we watched our movies. But if you're like, a Gen Z baby, you're Gen X, I believe, a Gen Alpha rather, you are still probably wondering, okay, now that I've explained it, but before you're probably wondering what Blockbusters is, but you definitely should know Netflix. Anyways, if you're old enough to watch this video, you definitely know what Netflix is. But if you're watching Netflix, you'll definitely know that with Netflix, you have to stream, it's a streaming platform basically. And so because it's a streaming platform, you get to go online through the internet, through Wi-Fi, and basically watch all the movies that you want, stream all of them, watch them, click on all the movies you like. They're at hand. There's Netflix, obviously the other platforms, we all know them, Disney Plus and so on, and Amazon Prime. But basically Netflix in particular approached Blockbusters and was like, we would love to do business with you. And Blockbusters, I think, in the fear of not knowing, and this is why I said fear would keep you where you are or even destroy you even further, but the fear of not knowing that, whether the internet was actually going to last, whether it's going to succeed, whether it's something they should even do. Hence why even all the time I'm talking about when you're starting your journey into creativity, into launching a brand, into anything, you should be praying. You should be praying to God to basically open your eyes, tell you what you should be getting into, tell you what brand deals you should be getting into, what collaborations, and what to do, what not to do. Because if you're getting that insight, then at the end of the day, things like this won't happen. To be fair though, Blockbusters did make us much money that I doubt the fall or whatever, or them disappearing into thin air did anything to them really and truly in terms of financially. But basically they were afraid and probably also a bit cocky, like, oh yeah, we're good, we're all right, we're already making our money, we don't need any start-up brand here to come and give us any collaborative thing. So they did not collaborate with Netflix. That's why I'm getting to, no need to prolong this. They didn't collaborate, and because they didn't collaborate, Netflix went on to do their own thing and called it Netflix anyways, because maybe if Blockbusters collaborated with them, it would have been called Blockbusters and Netflix or something like that. But yeah, Blockbusters did not. And now we see the rise of Netflix, and then we see the fall of Blockbusters. So that's essentially what happened. I know probably after this you're like, okay, is that the story? I'm gonna log off now. Wait, hold on, don't go anywhere, because I didn't finish. You should take this as an example and apply it to your life. Are you Blockbusters or are you Netflix? Are you going to basically be afraid to, collaborate with people or to do things or to launch anything, and then you're going to go down like this, or you're just going to disappear into thin air? Or are you going to be like, you know what, that collaboration didn't work, or we're going to pitch to different people our ideas, or if no one believes in our ideas, we're just going to start whatever and start with our name regardless, and then launch your brand, which Netflix did, launched, and then rise to the top. So it's left to you. Don't allow fear, don't allow things like this to hold you back. Don't allow pride. Don't think you're too bigger than anything. Don't think you're bigger than everyone. Don't think that, oh, this person is, whatever they're doing is just new. No, give everybody a chance. Give everyone, a break. Pray about it as well. That's the most important part, because sometimes actually it may not just be for you. Like, you may not be the one to actually do work with them. I've seen cases where, God will not allow this certain thing to happen. It's not like they won't allow it, but there's some things that won't happen, and it's for a greater purpose. So for example, if maybe Netflix did combine with Blockbusters and they did want this whole huge streaming platform, then maybe, just maybe, that Netflix won't have existed. No one would have known Netflix as a brand. Maybe they may have, but what would have happened is that Netflix would have been on the Blockbusters, and then maybe it would have been Blockbusters that is the streaming platform, and everyone already knew Blockbusters. Everyone knew, Blockbusters would have just been living, would just be existing, whereas Netflix would have never been born, because they just went with Blockbusters. Do you get what I mean? So sometimes things happen for a reason, and there's a good reason for things. But I just say that don't allow fear, don't allow pride, and also just don't have that lack of knowledge keep you bound. And the reason why this is even more important is because with the rise of AI, everyone's like, oh, I'm too scared. I understand, because me, like I said, being a Christian, there's some things that with AI I'm just like, it's a bit dodgy. Like the other day I saw an AI like influencer that was like Christian based, faith based, and it's a bit like concerning, because like, would you genuinely, you know, get your spiritual, like, you don't want to rely spiritually on AI, where God is supposed to be doing that for you, where, you know, the Holy Spirit's supposed to be reminding you of things, where you're supposed to be praying to God. You then run into AI for answers. But AI is there to help, and it has its own benefits. Do you know what I mean? So we're not just going to knock everything. Yes, there's a good side of things, there's a bad side of things. Just the same way with social media. You can imagine when social media was being born, there were people that were like fear, doubt. You just pray about it. What is your spirit? What do you feel about it? And then go with it. Because if, for example, something like AI, if you don't get on the trends, if you don't understand it, if you don't learn it, because if you don't understand it, go learn it. And if you want to learn it, like even with graphic design, with anything that you're doing, go get knowledge about it. Seek the knowledge of it. Read on it. You know, understand it. That way, you will not be afraid when opportunities come. Because sometimes, yeah, what may seem like an opportunity may not actually be an opportunity. But if an opportunity, e.g., let's say Netflix approaches you, the way they approach Blockbusters, and they're like, oh, could we, you know, collab or something like that. You do not want to be that person that's could be like, no, we're good, we don't do AI. And then 10 years from now, or 30 years from now, 20 years from now, another Mareeyah would be talking about how you turned down so brand because you were too proud, or you didn't have the knowledge of what they were talking about, or you were afraid. Like, it doesn't even matter at this point what the reasons were, but you turned down that opportunity because you couldn't see so far ahead. So that's why even prayer is good, you know, so that you can see and test and discern what this person is saying, what this project or this collaboration is saying. If you think about it and you're like, okay, this works for me, then go for it. But make sure you're also learning about things. Like, Blockbusters should have learned about the internet and what the internet's about and whether it's going to survive, because it did survive for so long, and then it birthed so many social media platforms. It birthed so many different things. We use the internet for so many different things right now. Right now, you're watching me on your internet. So, yeah, they should have just gone to learn and, you know, learning. My brother always tells me that you should always keep a student mindset. So, whatever you're doing in life, when you graduate from uni, when you're in secondary school, wherever you are, even if you've left uni for years now, or you're not even like, you're just starting out, you just want to enter uni, just make sure you keep on being a student. It never stops. Learning never stops. And if you're like me, that is a nerd, because I definitely love learning, I love reading. I have a course on creativity. It's called The Journey to Creativity, Exploring Graphic Design. So if you want to go into graphic design, I've put it down below in the link in the bio. Make sure you click on the link and basically have access to that knowledge, so that when opportunities come, you're not ridden with fear. You know what to do. You can say, I can design, and you can have the best life that you want. You can have all the opportunities and all the financial goals that you've always wanted. If that sounds like a plan, you should definitely check it out. Don't be a blockbuster. Anyway, so after that small intro and that small promo, I'm definitely going to end this on this note, that everything that you do in life is definitely something that is not just, it's not just you just did it. It's not by chance. So basically everything that you're going to do in life, there's always consequences, whether it's good or bad. So whether you turn down an opportunity, or whether you take on, you know, a skill, or you learn something, learn a trade or something like that, there are also consequences, and there's good and bad, there's pros and cons. So for example, if you don't take it, like Blockbusters didn't take that deal, that's the consequences, that you might disappear. Like when I say you might disappear, you might like vanish. Poof. And if you do take it, then you have the best life. You have your best life. Whatever you see as a success to you, you would have that because you've taken that on you, that opportunity. But like I said, not all opportunities are good opportunities. So make sure you pray about it. Anyways, I hope this helped on your journey to creativity. Before you start anything, before you take on any opportunity, make sure you do pray about it. Make sure you do discern and see whether it's right for you. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys, and happy new year, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.